List 20 things you enjoy doing, and when was the last time you let yourself do these things? Being in more than one place at a time. Like this? Maybe try something a little bit less abstract. Get up close and personal with nature. I could do that. This past Valentine's Day, my wife Jojo and I decided to let our hair down at the Huntington Library and Gardens in San Marino, California. Now, I come from Sydney, Australia, and believe me, we know a thing or two about botanical gardens, but trust me, Huntington Gardens kicked it out of the park. Between the Chinese and the Japanese gardens, the koi ponds, pagodas, and the odes to bonsai trees, and the desert garden, whose wide variety of succulents and cacti would prickle anyone's fancy. One of my favorite moments was getting close to the hummingbirds, or at least as close as they would allow. There are so many reasons to love hummingbirds. For one, they're the only bird that can fly backwards. They're tiny and adorable, weighing no more than a nickel, but because of how quickly they beat their wings, 80 times a second, they need to eat every 10 to 15 minutes. Relatable. And because their long tongues have evolved to shoot out and retract 13 times a second, they can consume up to 3 times their body weight every day. And if they couldn't get any cuter, a flock of hummingbirds can be referred to as a bouquet, a glittering, a hover, a shimmer, or a tune. Now, if biology isn't reason enough to love hummingbirds, let's venture into anthropology. The pre-Hispanic Mayan people have revered the hummingbird as a manifestation of the sun descended from heaven to court a beautiful woman, the moon. Hummingbirds were also believed to be harbingers of good fortune and messengers that could bridge the living and the dead. A symbol of love, vitality, and health, and a little bit more controversially, sometimes worn around the neck as a love charm in Central America. Moving on to the realm of technology and biomimicry, otherwise known as biomimetics. Hummingbirds' unique flight mechanics have inspired the design of agile and compact drones that can reach places unreachable by lumbering humans. The anatomy of their forked tongue, that works more like a pump than a straw, could point to more efficient ways to mop up liquids, oil spills, etc. A Tunisian company called Tyler Wind has designed wind turbines that imitate the fluttering of hummingbirds. So important is the hummingbird to scientific, technological, and cultural discovery that the phrase "the Hummingbird Effect," coined by Stephen Johnson in his book How We Got to Now, 6 Innovations That Made the Modern World, to describe the way that innovation in one area can trigger unpredictable and unexpected advancement in other seemingly unrelated realms. One famous example he gives is of Galileo, who amidst tinkering with his telescopes also fell upon a discovery of pendulums and timekeeping, drawing on his teenage daydreams of the swinging altar lamp in the Duomo, Pisa. Just a thought that I've been pondering. Much like the evolution of bees gave flowers their colors, and the evolution of pollen altered the design of hummingbirds' wings, so too can one idea or personal discovery or change lead unexpectedly to growth in other areas. In a way, Julia Cameron and The Artist's Way have given birth to its own hummingbird effect in my own relationship with myself. I began this journey to become more creative. What I've discovered is a different perspective on the innate quality and role of creativity, which is that it exists at the very center of mindfulness. Through experimentation, embracing the unfamiliar, reframing failure and judgment, and making unexpected connections, creativity is like a master key to seeing the forest from the trees. Pausing to see the big picture, even if it feels like life is in constant motion, much the way a hummingbird hovers in place. And not letting perceived limitations, like the size of the hummingbird's body and wings, hold us back. So let's all be more like a hummingbird, whatever that means to you.